Hey, welcome to the You Chose Poorly podcast on video. Look at this. I mean,
Hmm.
no promises. We're trying the video. If all you can do is hear us, then that means it didn't work, or you're listening to the audio feed, in which case there might be a YouTube video. We'll see. We'll see
Or,
how it
or,
goes.
or you can watch the video, or you can turn on the video and not watch it,
Yeah, you
just
can
like
turn on the
leave it
video and
on.
not watch it. There's this on my Roku television, which is just back there. There's a little button that says like, just turn off the TV but leave the audio on. It's nice. It's a nice feature.
Mm.
I wish the Chromecast would do that. I wish Apple TV would do that. That's a nice feature. Just like I just want to listen. I don't need the I don't need the video bits.
Right, right. No, that'd be good, especially with the screensavers that these devices do, or the Apple TV specifically. That would be nice.
Good screensavers. Yeah, yeah. Are you excited? Was that the most
So,
exciting thing for you out of Dub Dub? Was
mm,
that the Mac is getting good screensavers?
uh, no, no, I think the watch stuff was more exciting. Like, I'm more excited for the watch stuff. There's a lot. We didn't prepare, by the way. We just said we have to do a podcast, and
Yeah,
there's
we
a
got to
there's a
talk.
number of things. It's been so. Wait, is this? We haven't even we didn't even have a pre-prod or anything. Is this season 4 now,
I
or
think
is
this
this
is
like some
season this is
between
season four.
seasons thing?
This is season four.
Welcome to season 4, everyone. Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Season 4.
I think if correct me if I'm wrong. I think all we should talk about today is the headset.
Okay. Yes.
There's enough
Yeah, because
there's enough meat on that bone.
mhm. Yeah, I was gonna say I just unlocked like the last memory in Zelda, so I have all the memories, and now things are things are after the memories. So I don't think I'm ready to talk about Zelda yet until I
Yeah.
progress.
Yeah, let's talk about Zelda maybe next time or the time after that.
Mm. Or that,
I'm
yeah.
I I just landed on the point of no return at the end of the game.
Mm.
Like
Okay.
there's this is no spoilers, but like there's a point where it goes
Right.
the most of the game is done now. And
Right.
if you
Right.
take one more step forward, you're into the end game part.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So I
Right.
stopped there for now.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
So that's next time.
That's next time. But this time,
Oh.
let's talk about a product that I'm going to assume neither of us are going to own.
Mm. Well, you know what? This is not the first time we've talked about something that we assumed neither of us was gonna own, that then eventually one of us owned.
Yes,
So
yes, that's true. So it's
yeah.
look. Here's the thing. If you see us on YouTube, there is a little title right underneath us. It says "You Chose Poorly" podcast. And if you're coming to us for the first time, the conceit of this show the conceit of this show is that it's really difficult to do the right thing with like consumer electronics. to
I
like
mean, in general,
in,
yes,
in
but
general, it's
especially
hard
with
to do the right thing, but
electronics.
but just like with a focus on gadgets.
Hmm.
It's difficult
Hmm.
to do the right thing. To know that what you spent your time on, put your money on, was correct. Was like the right thing for you, the right thing in general, the right thing for your family. I think we're going to talk about family a bit on this episode because I think this
Hmm. Hmm.
the Apple Vision Pro is a very interesting device to bring into a household full of people,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Right? So, so let's quickly summarize it. So Apple came out with a headset,
Hmm.
right?
They've
And
been rumored. Let's start before the shows,
okay,
before the
back up,
launch.
back up.
So, so uh, Apple business wise, Tim Cook's Apple's last big product was the Apple Watch, and then the AirPods, kinda, and then after that, there's been, as there always is with Apple. Like there's always this hunger for the next thing.
Mm.
And Tim Cook for a while used to say that, or Apple for a while used to say the AR VR was not a thing worth pursuing. And then over the past, say, 5 years, they started changing their tune a bit,
Yeah.
saying that, maybe AR is like interesting. And then eventually it's just full on excitement from Tim Cook about how exciting AR is, all but confirming the eventual launch of the device. And that launch came 2 weeks ago at at WWDC, with the launch of Apple Vision Pro. So,
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah, the device is, I guess, in short, the whatever AR VR is currently in the world, the Vision Pro is the best version of that exists,
Yeah,
technology wise.
that seems to be very clear for even me who kind of doesn't care about this space. Like I've
Hmm.
barely paid attention, but I've paid attention more than I think the average like non-tech gadget obsessed kind of person is. Where I know kind of the competing products. Like so there's
Hmm.
like the MetaQuest, there's the Valve Index, there's the PSVR 2 which just came out. Um, all of which seem to
PSVR.
generally focus on gaming, which is, that's kind of been the product category so far. And Apple's come out with a general purpose computer that gaming is like a feature of, but is not the
Hmm.
predominant selling point. Um,
Right.
right, and like this is a computer. This is a, a, a secret face computer for yourself,
Hmm.
right? Because when you're in it, no one can see what you're looking at, so
Hmm.
it's a secret. But
But
it's not that
unlike,
tiny. Well, I guess it is kind
yeah,
of tiny compared to like other headsets. It's the smallest looking headset as far as I can tell.
right.
Um,
But unlike every other device, though, while what you're watching is a secret, it can also show you from outside that the person using it is watching something.
yes, you're
Uh,
not a
eh,
secret. You
yeah.
remain visible to the people around you,
Hmm.
right?
This is important. See.
I get it. I get it. I completely.
Yeah.
Here's okay. So, I do appreciate that during the entire announcement, they were like, "It's not creepy because we did this with it."
Right.
Right?
Right.
Like it's not. Look, we understand. We get it. Look, we know. But look, we did this feature, and now it's less creepy.
Hmm.
Right? No, no, we know these things are creepy. We know everybody who's
Right.
bought a VR headset has been a total creepoid, but not ours. Ours less creepy because
This
of these features.
this is the meme. The nobody, absolutely nobody. Apple. We know it's not creepy because of this, though.
Because of this feature, and and it's and there's a couple of features that make it less creepy than other VR headsets for sure, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like the eyeball thing where people can see your eyes through a screen. If it works as advertised, I do think
Hmm.
it is a thing that makes this less creepy. Sure,
Hmm.
right? The
Sure.
little like screensaver that goes over your eyes when you're watching something to let people know that you're concentrating on your secret tiny face computer, um,
Hmm. Hmm.
instead of looking at them. That makes it less creepy, right? It does. It's sort of the like it's the old 1950s husband with the newspaper all the way up.
Right.
Right?
This went up to like the 90s, even, I think. Like my dad would do that.
Right. Yeah, yeah. The 20th
Yeah.
century husband
Yeah, right.
with the
Right.
newspaper
Newspaper
all the way up.
all the way up. And there's the cue. There's the social cue of putting it
A
down.
little bit down. A little bit.
Mhm.
Paper goes halfway down.
Right.
So
Right. That's exactly it.
that's what this is. That's what this is.
Hmm.
And and like the other thing that makes it less creepy is the people who are who are outside of your secret tiny face computer, when they
Mm-hmm.
sort of come into proximity,
Mm-hmm.
you see them regardless of what you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, that's one of my favorite features of the whole thing, is that like someone can pop into you when you're looking at whatever, and someone can pop
Mm-hmm.
in and be like, hey, we need you in the real world right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. That's nice. And
Right.
that's we have an analogy for that already, which is get off your phone, I need you to do something.
Right.
Or get off your
Right.
iPad, I need you to do something.
Yep.
Right? That's we
Yeah.
already have that. That's that social cue is already there.
That's there. Yeah. It's built
so
in.
so we need, that's good. That's good. Um question to you.
Mm.
Is this thing not creepy enough for like a general purchase?
No.
It's still too creepy.
Yeah. Well, no. The question, if the end point of the question is for a purchase,
Mm. It's like definitely no.
like it can be creepy and still worth purchase. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the whole reason we're doing season 4, I think, and I'm sorry and grateful about this, is because of this product. Because I watched the thing,
Yeah.
right? And so I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there's anybody who I mean, sorry, I don't want to sound too modest. What I mean is, I don't know who's been following our show here
Mm-hmm.
for 4 seasons now, but in this show, I'm the one who would on the edge of the Apple fanboy spectrum. I lean towards that more than you do.
Yeah.
Like I'm the Apple guy, right?
Yeah.
And by Apple guy, it's not just like blindly purchasing things. I also like follow the Grubers and the Viticis and the podcast people, and like
Right. You're
we
in the
follow it. Like,
yeah.
yeah, the Apple fandom
Mm-hmm.
thing. I'm in it, and watching the launch, it was weird because for the Apple Watch, I remember the hype. Like there was such hype for the Apple Watch. It was a big show. Like celebrities were there. It was so unlike any other Apple launch. But like this is the modern Apple, and we're big now, and we're gonna own it. And I was like hooked in. For this one, you could tell that they were kind of trying to do like fervor the same hype, like stimulate the same hype, and it just wasn't like hitting me. Now, me being the way we are, it could just first thought was maybe it's me. Maybe I've outgrown it. Maybe like I'm a dad and I care about Zelda more or whatever. But it just wasn't like it just didn't hook me. The premise didn't hook me. And then I watched it and the premise still didn't hook me. And it weirded me out in the end. This is why my point about the show being the Vision Pro's fault is because I kind of didn't want to talk to anyone else about this besides you,
Okay.
because I also didn't want Apple haters I kind of didn't want to hear what they had to say because I
Yeah.
knew what they had to say,
Yeah.
you know. I also didn't want to talk to like the super fanboys. Where by super fanboys like me, I mean the
Mm-hmm.
people who are already like hooked. Like I kind of needed to like figure this out first because what I felt was this is a product that's bad for the world.
Oh no.
I think that was the thought.
Yeah.
And so creepiness absolutely is like one of the reasons it's bad.
Yeah.
Like, but the creepiness hints at all the stuff that makes it what I think is a bad thing.
Mm.
It's the creepiness is just the surface of it. It's creepy, but why is it creepy? It's creepy because we're gonna get into this throughout the show, but like among many reasons, if someone walks in, they see your eyes. That's a thing that makes it less creepy than say the MetaQuest.
Mm.
But it is inherently a creepy thing that they're seeing your eyes through a screen, like in between the screen, what you see and my actual eyes. You're not seeing my eyes. You're seeing a recording of my eyes, a capture of my eyes.
Right.
That's creepy. Why is no one saying that's weird? Like that's a weird thing.
I think people are saying that. I think there's a lot of jokes about how creepy the eyes
Okay.
are. I think that's
Okay.
that is being covered as like a creepy thing. I actually like I don't know what the right answer is between having something there and having nothing there because all of the
Hmm.
other VR headsets have nothing there, and
Hmm.
it looks to me, I'm not a young person. It looks to me like every dystopian sci-fi
Hmm.
apocalyptic thing, where when you put something on
Hmm.
your face and you go into another reality, um, no good can come from it.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know. Now I
You don't, and I mean, I don't know. We're old,
yeah
right?
yeah
But I mean, we don't. I don't. My gut says you don't have to be an expert on dystopian literature to
right.
think this is weird.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Right.
Now I want to give the Apple Computer Corporation some credit here.
Hmm.
Because I actually, this episode, I actually might be more pro Apple than you are, which is to
Hmm.
me a fascinating turn because to some degree, I feel like this device is being sold specifically to someone like you who is close knit with their family,
Hmm.
who takes a lot of pictures and videos of their family, right?
Hmm.
Who and who is already kind of on board with the Apple thing, right? Where you're at least interested in what the company's doing next, right? So that's
Right.
I think it's fascinating that you have this instinctive like I don't know about this one. So so one thing I'll give credit to about the Apple Computer Corporation is AirPods. So this is my
Hmm.
these are my AirPod Pros 2. It I have it in a very cute milk and mocha case. I think they're this is really cute, but it's nice and soft and like it. I don't the one downside of pretty much all Apple cases is they're too slippery.
Hmm.
So I have them in here. AirPods Pro 2 specifically with their with the active noise cancellation and also the transparency mode. It does this thing where it makes you feel like you can hear the real world better than your
Hmm.
regular ears. Like I don't really have bad ears. Like I went to a lot of concerts as a kid, so they're not like perfect. But like I don't have
Hmm.
hearing aid issues. But when I turn on transparency mode and I hear the world clearer than I would without them, I think, well, this is. I wonder if this is what people with perfect hearing are hearing.
Hmm.
You know, um, but that's all synthetic. That's all computer hearing, right?
Yeah.
Right? The active noise cancellation is all computer work, right? And so I'll give them the credit that they have been working on this, and I actually think that we're underselling AirPods as one of the big things they came out with
Hmm.
in the last 10 years. Like that is it's a massive, it's bigger than the iPod ever was. Just this gadget.
Hmm.
Um, uh, I I give them credit for already being in the augmented reality space and
Hmm.
doing such a good enough job with it that nobody noticed, right? Like everyone is just like,
Right.
"Oh no, my AirPods are great." They're great because Apple is already good at augmented reality stuff, you know? And
Right.
so good
Right.
at it that most people don't even realize they're using AR when they're using AirPods. Because they think
No,
augmented
that's true.
reality is all about the eyes, but it isn't. It's about all
Yeah.
of your senses,
Right.
right? So I I'll give them the credit that they're good at this already, and actually maybe better than anybody else already at this.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm like I think both of us are a no on at least the version one of this, like the Apple Vision Pro
Yeah.
version one. I think both of us are like too expensive, not ready, yada yada. And I
Hmm.
think that's fine. I think that's Apple's is like, we're not ready. We're barely
Yeah.
ready.
No. No, we're not.
we don't need
They're not, and
we
we're
don't
not.
need
Yeah.
everyone to want this and want everyone to buy
Hmm.
this. Like if they sell a couple 100,000 of these next year, which they will without thinking,
Hmm.
that's fine. That's a win for them. I think we're at this like philosophically. right now,
Yeah.
where we go like, okay, well, there's a pitch from a major company that this is the future. Is that the future we want?
Right.
And so maybe by like 2 or 3 or 5 years from now, when some more of the creepiness goes down, simply because it's out in the world more and people get used to things, right?
Hmm.
Maybe that's one thing. Maybe that gets solved. For me, it needs like multiplayer, and I don't just mean for gaming. I mean like I don't want to be in a
Life.
room. I don't want to be in a room
Right.
with other people and I have this thing on and no one else has one. I
Hmm.
feel like that's a massive social problem.
Yeah. No. Uh, Marco Arment was talking about this. He was saying that that's the killer app. The
Yeah,
killer app. So Apple's way of of selling this to I guess to address that problem
yeah,
is to show how they also have a thing that makes it really great to be the guy wearing the goggles with your
sure,
family,
sure.
which is the you get to capture a memory and it feels like you're there. But and of course everybody came out with the memes and the responses of look at this dad putting on his Vision Pro at his kid's birthday.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah,
That's not nothing. That's not a thing you can like. This is not the same as like we've had this conversation about the SLR. Like
mm-hmm,
this is we've had this conversation of you're in the moment.
mm-hmm,
The iPhone is great because I can just go pop, and you have to go fiddle with your bag and extra steps, right?
sure,
There is no version of the Vision Pro unless it gets like version 10 or something where it's just in your contact lenses or something,
sure. Yeah,
but the like that but that's not what we're talking about yet.
no,
we're talking about we're talking about the concept of goggles.
yeah,
Like that's the industry. Like
yeah,
that's what this category is.
mm-hmm,
Not the end result experience. If you can somehow get that experience without any of that stuff, that's a different conversation. I think it's part of what we'll talk about, like about what it means, right?
yeah,
But just thinking about the goggles, the multiplayer thing, absolutely, you can't get around it. This is
yeah,
not the same as wait, let me get my bag,
yeah,
my camera's in there.
yeah.
This is you're the dude with the goggles, and it's not like it's not the Google Glass in retrospect was not that weird compared to this, and
It
everybody made fun of
it
that.
was way less intrusive of a
Yeah,
thing for sure.
right.
Uh, but like, there, I don't know if they sell them where you are, but Bose has like a pair of glasses
Hmm.
that like records video, like I don't know if they're doing it with Snapchat or if it's just a similar product to the one that Snapchat has, but like it's
Hmm.
just a pair of kind of thick glasses that just have a camera in them, right?
Right.
And it just records video, and it has a giant red light when it's recording, so you can't like, or at
Yeah, you
least
can't be a creep.
right, exactly, right.
Yeah.
Um, but it's those products are out there. You can buy them for not much money. There's pretty much
Yeah.
everything that Apple is competing with right now. You can buy for under $500, and
Mm.
Apple's $3,500 thing is definitely a lot better, a lot more impressive technologically, but has the exact same social problems as all of the other ones do.
More so, I think, just because of everything it can do. Like
Mm,
all the other things are, they benefit by not being able to do much.
right.
You know?
I think so.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but right, right. But the Vision Pro is like a computer for your face, like bicycle for the mind for your face. You
It's a
know,
bicycle for your face.
it's a bicycle for your face. That's what it is. So. So, it's inherently that's I think that's what I mean. It's not that oh, this guy is wearing Vision Pro with me at the party. He must be recording video. What a creep. It's not that. It's like just the whole idea of this guy with the computer on his face
Mm,
is troubling,
sure.
and I and I'm wait, let me belatedly preface this by saying, like, there are already think pieces that are saying similar things, and but this is why I wanted to talk it out, because I don't think I have any conclusions yet. I just have feelings.
Sure,
Like, it's
that's
just,
fine.
I don't I yeah, I'm nowhere near being able to write about it. Like, I don't know how I feel.
This is a
So
therapeutic tech show.
yes,
Yeah,
it's always been.
yeah, it has been.
So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but I just didn't want anyone listening to think like I'm yet another one of the Wired writers who are angry about it.
Let
And
me.
that's also why, because everyone's also so angry. Anyway,
Yeah,
sorry,
we're
you were
not.
saying.
We're not. We're like. I'm like. Okay, so this is to me. It's a fascinating tech demo in the way that frankly, Microsoft often does. Like every 3 or 4 years, Microsoft will come out with like a fascinating tech demo or a fascinating concept video where they're like, "What if
Mm.
life was like this?" You know?
Mhm.
And you
Mhm.
go, "Well, I like X, and X about this, and I don't like X, and Y about this," and it doesn't matter because they never ship the product anyway. But but it's enough to get you thinking about what you might like your future with these things to look like, right?
Yeah.
I think to some degree, the average person would like technology to go away, and not
Mm.
and not to say they don't want it or they don't want the advantages of it. They don't ever want to think about it. They don't ever want to feel like it's in the way of what they want to do, and they don't
Mhm.
ever want to spend any money on it at all.
Mhm.
Right? I think that's kind of what the average thought process is. Then there's the sort of enthusiast person where they go, I will spend money on this.
Right.
And I will tinker with this, and it will be a problem in my life, but it will be a fun puzzle for me to work on. And those are the people who buy Steam Decks, um,
Mhm.
right? Steam Deck is the perfect device for that group of person because it's like to even get like a game running on it, you have to go through some tutorials, uh,
Mhm.
right? Like it looks amazing and it works fantastically and it's a great product, and you also have to like look up a YouTube video on how to use it at all,
Mhm.
right? So,
You're right.
um, whereas like the Nintendo Switch, you turn it on and you pop a cartridge in or you download the game, and
That's
then the
it.
game runs perfectly forever.
Right.
Right, that's the difference, right? Um, and I think the Apple Vision Pro, for many, many years, will be in the second category. It will be too expensive for the average person. It will be too fiddly for the average person, and it will be a social faux pas for a while.
Mhm.
It might not be eventually. Like
Right.
like I could look back on this in 10 years and be like, wow, we were naive, and everybody's
Yeah.
got one of these things now, and the government issued it to all of us. You know,
Yep.
right? You never know.
You never know.
you
That's
never,
true.
you
I
never
can see that. Absolutely.
know.
I
And but like as it is now, as Tom in the season finale of Top Chef said, what are we doing? We're not talking about potential. We're talking about the dish that's in front of us today.
mm, mhm. That's perfect, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, that's that's exactly how to address criticism of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. And
Yeah, we're
as
not.
it is today, I think I think the only people who want this and will buy this are the people who go, I don't care what I look like when I'm wearing it, and I have enough money to burn, and I'm very interested in being on the ground floor of what could be the next great thing. Right?
Mhm.
Right? I'm only gonna watch Brock Lesnar matches in 2002.
I'm thinking of like two people who would listen to this episode. Like, I know them. I can see their faces. They're not gonna know what the hell we're talking. But like, it's the perfect thing to say. Like, yes, that's the guy.
That's the guy. That's the guy. Is
Uh,
the Apple Vision Pro Brock Lesnar in 2002?
I mean, he's good.
Yeah.
Really, really
He's
good.
obviously better than most people on the roster, and he
Hmm.
just got there.
Right. Like, it's 2002. He's already the champ.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah.
But um, Yeah, it's also sorry, just one more thing about our audience or the imagined audience I have. Like anyone who would probably catch this wanting to know about the Vision Pro probably left by now.
Yeah.
Like we like just go to apple.com and just watch the video. Like we're
I mean,
yeah.
I guess, but
Uh,
like they're a little biased.
mm, and they would be.
And they would
I
be.
I think okay, so we're the people have already expressed or articulated what's troubling about the category and Vision Pro specifically because it's like the best version of this today.
Yeah.
So I don't think these are new thoughts. I think overarching thoughts is like it's dystopian, it's socially weird, it's faux pas,
Mm.
it's creepy, right? Also, technology is amazing, and like it's when I've read so many takes saying that it's speechless. They just didn't know what to say after the 30-minute demo.
Yeah.
Which you know what? Hey, valid. Like I probably wouldn't know what to say. I would love to have the demo, but so it's not one of the things I think that I'm ashamed to admit, which is why I needed to talk specifically to you about it, that I haven't seen anyone else say, I think, is that I think I'm sad because Apple's the one doing this.
Mm.
Like like this these are all somebody was gonna do the Vision Pro.
Sure.
Somebody was gonna do it. And these think pieces were gonna come out. There was gonna be a Brock Lesnar, whether it was Brock Lesnar or not. You know, like somebody would have. Anyway, so pop steroids. Anyway, so and been a really good amateur wrestler.
Yeah.
That was inevitable, I think. But what makes me sad was that Apple's the one who did it, and they're not the ones who would do this. I think.
Mm.
Uh, or I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know. I'm about to say a thing that I could not stand over the past 12 years whenever anyone said it. But one of the thoughts was, Steve Jobs wouldn't have done this. Like
Really?
that's
Yeah.
just the thought. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But that was the thing that I felt. I was like, this doesn't what? Why would this would be another 10 years of workshopping, I think. Like there has to be a thing that would make him want it other than a cool demo because like Apple's silos have like 10,000 cool demos every day for the past however 30 40 years, but it's the 1,000 no's for every yes that makes the iPhone, the iPad, the
Sure.
watch, the
Yeah.
AirPods.
Yeah.
And this seems like there's probably 100 more no's about this that no one is saying. There's just a
Mm.
lot of excitement to say yes. And the because the fundamental philosophical stuff is a thing they haven't addressed at all. Like they are kind of embracing the philosophical, cultural, societal weirdness and saying no, but it's okay because this is a really great experience.
Yeah.
You'll see when you try it.
You'll see when you try
And
it.
that's what they said. That's what they said in Her. That's what they said in The Matrix. That's
Sure.
that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like no one is saying, no one addressed it. And
Right.
I feel like there's like 10,000 smart people in that company. And there were articles before the launch saying that there were people hesitating and whatever. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Yeah, at the end, you're all one team. You're still Apple. You're still there.
Mm-hmm.
And now this Apple that I'm a fan of is doing a thing that I feel really weird about. And I can be classified as another hater or whatever, and I'll be downvoted on Reddit. But
Wait,
and that's
I'm
kind of
not.
why I
Will
didn't want
Reddit even exist in 2 months?
it's barely there now. So yeah. You're right. But that's the thing that bothers me the most. Like the cultural weight or the significance of Apple being the one to make this product,
Mm.
I think bothers me. Not just because I'm a fan of Apple, but also because Apple does have the power to change things. Like
Yeah.
the AirPods are a thing are normal
They're
now.
very normal.
You know?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
normal now.
I'll say this.
They I
I've even kind of stopped taking them out if I have to talk to somebody for just a second. Like
yeah.
I don't like I'll hit the thing so I'm in transparency mode so I can hear them, but I kind of
Mm.
don't take them out.
Just wear them.
Yeah,
Yeah. No.
which is something I would have never done before.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like
I
you're
understand.
like even with something like that, they have the ability to just change a norm, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I have a question for you, just a hypothetical question.
Mm,
If Apple
sure.
were to make a refrigerator, like just a good, expensive refrigerator, like it's good, like it's obviously better than the other refrigerators,
Uh-huh.
would you be like, I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of an Apple hater on this one? Or would you be like, I
I
don't
think
know, I could use a better fridge?
um, I it's, right now, you're asking me this right now, I would be the Apple hater, I
Right.
think.
You'd be like, why are they wasting their time on this fridge?
Yeah, they're not Samsung. Why are they making a fridge?
That's part of
Why
why
are
I'm
they doing
asking, because their main
right,
competitor in the world
right. In the
also
world.
makes a fridge,
Right.
right? And so if you're, because I don't think that Apple is coming out with this VR headset because of the Meta Quest or because of the
Hmm.
PSVR, right? Those products might have never existed, and the Apple Vision Pro would still probably have come out.
Right. Right. That's
Um,
true. Or I agree.
yeah, and I don't think Apple would make a fridge just because Samsung makes a fridge, right?
Hmm.
I actually think that's one of those areas where there's probably been at least one meeting at Apple where they go, should we make a fridge? Samsung makes a lot of fridges.
Right. Like imagine how good our fridge would be.
Our fridge would be so good,
Right. Like let's talk about fridges. What's your
right?
experience with your fridge? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, your fridge
Yeah.
stinks. We could make the best fridge, right?
Right.
And so you think of part of your Apple fanboyism, a fan personism,
Mm-hmm.
is that you, in the categories that Apple plays in, they tend to be very, very good players,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so you see them entering a brand new thing like VR, and you go, I don't even have any positive feelings about this category whatsoever. And
Mm-hmm.
Apple entering it is mostly confusing to me because why do they have positive feelings about this category? I don't.
Mm-hmm.
No one I know
Yeah.
does. I've asked almost every single person I know in the last month since this thing got announced. Do you have any interest in this thing at all? I've been running my own personal survey.
Hmm.
0%.
Research. Look at you.
Zero
0%.
percent. Not one person is like, strap it to my face immediately,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know some geeks, man.
Yeah, you do. You do know some geeks. This
And
is true.
not one person is like, I'm on day one, here's my credit card, put it on me. So,
And I mean, it's for any other company making any other similar product, like that doesn't matter,
mm,
like that doesn't matter that no one wants it
mm-hmm,
because they'll make it and it'll exist. But the uh, the- it's indicative of, I think, the weakness of the pitch, which is
mm,
that they didn't even pitch it at all as a thing that as a gap people have. The last thing I can think of, uh, I'm thinking of the Apple Watch and watches being watches since they were invented. They
sure,
tell time and they could do so much more.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
That's the Apple. They didn't even know what they wanted it to be. They just know it could do so much more,
yeah,
right? So here's the Apple Watch, and then take 3 or 4 years, and then they figured it out, like what it's supposed to do.
yeah,
The iPad, I distinctly remember, is a thing that only Apple fanboys, fan persons were excited about. And then Steve Jobs made the pitch of like, you have your laptop or your computer, you have your phone.
mm,
This is the in between thing. And people were skeptical for a while.
yeah,
Like a long while. Aside from the first year of it was $500, everybody's gonna buy it anyway.
sure,
The first few years, but after a while, it's like, what's this for again? And
yeah,
now it's just normal. Like everyone just has an iPad, and it's just not a computer. Like it's vague, but that's just what it is.
sure,
But I remember mentioning this in the chat that we have. Uh, the they said nothing about where this belongs in your life.
Mm,
It's just a really cool thing that can do these things, and that combined with all the dystopian stuff unaddressed is weird coming from Apple because
yeah.
they don't. The only hint that they have pitch to where this belongs in your life is in the name Vision Pro, which I told you before I cannot stand. It's so
Oh, you don't like the
like
name?
no, it's a nice name. It's a catchy marketing name. It's
Yeah.
great. But like thinking like semiotics representation, what it means, sort of thing. It's saying all y'all have regular vision, and if you buy this, you
Oh,
have
that's how
Vision
you're
Pro.
reading it. You're like, this
That's
is
how
you're. I didn't even
yeah.
think of that,
We
but
are
that is a way you can read that for sure.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's. I mean, somebody thought it. Like
sure,
somebody was smirking about how clever it is.
sure.
Probably Jaws, just because he's the one I like the least. I imagine him smirking. You know, the Vision Pro. Like everybody else has Vision, you got Vision Pro,
Sure.
and that's it. That's the hint. It's saying it's your eyes and brain, but more.
Mm,
But what remains unsaid is criticisms that this thing has already received 100 years before it was even conceived. Like people already,
that's true.
th-
We
that's
really came
that's
in. We
already a
came into
thing.
this with a lot of negative baggage in culture
Yeah,
already. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's true.
It's not neutral.
Nope.
So, and that they said nothing about it except no, but look how cool.
Right.
You know,
Right.
right? You're gonna want to wear the glasses at your kid's birthday just because you could relive it tomorrow. My wife was saying she watched it because I make her watch these things. So, because I wanted to just find out what a normal person thinks. And then she thought about it for a minute and she thought, I guess it would be really great if like trigger warning to anyone listening or watching, like really sad thing here. But it's really great if you have a child that passed away or someone who passed away and you happen to be wearing the Vision Pro while you were with them.
Yeah.
So then you can relive the memory, and
Yeah.
hopefully that memory doesn't have the social faux pas of look at the weirdo wearing the Vision Pro, and it's actually a nice legit memory,
Yeah.
but it doesn't address the faux pas. This is for after they're gone
Right.
and you get to relive it. But you remember it doesn't address the fact that at that time you were the one wearing the goggles. Everybody else was in the memory. You were not.
Right.
Uh, so it's troubling to me. And if Microsoft was the one who made it, I could laugh about it.
Well, they did
I
it.
wouldn't be sad.
They did. They made it 5 years ago.
That's true. That's true. And they tried with like,
And it cost
what was
the
the
same. It was $3,500 too.
what became the Kinect? Do you remember the thing that became the Kinect with Peter Molyneux and there was a tech demo for the Xbox 360
Yeah.
that showed major AR VR stuff that became the Kinect and the
Yeah.
Kinect camera and whatever.
Yeah.
So Microsoft had clearly been thinking about this for a long time. It's
Mhm.
just that Apple, I guess, had the money to do it. It just surprised me that they actually went and did it. Like it's a thing now. So the world's either gonna change or it's gonna flop. Both of which makes me sad as an Apple person.
I
Both
will.
realities make me sad.
So I wanna finish off on a positive because I feel like
Mm,
I've got one thought that could be very positive about this, and it actually
mm,
like so I feel like if the only way to shoot 3D video is through the glasses, this won't be a hit. But if the next iPhone or the iPhone after that or whatever, they separate the cameras on
mm,
the phone and all of a sudden they can shoot 3D video on the phone.
mm,
Um, and they also figure out a way that you can see 3D video without the glasses. I don't know how you do that without doing a
mm,
Nintendo 3DS kind of thing, which
mm,
is for people who had a Nintendo 3DS, they already know what the idea of taking 3D photos is, which is a very cool idea, and I really liked taking 3D photos with my 3DS. Um, the the problem is like the resolution was so small, but
Mm-hmm.
presumably this would be good enough that you'd be impressed by it. But even back in 2012 or 2011 when the 3DS came out, like the even a 240 megapixel or 200 a 240 by 320 image in 3D, it looked
Mm-hmm.
great. So like presumably in 10 years time that idea
Mm-hmm.
becomes very impressive, right? What what I want to land on is the promise of the
Mm.
technology in this too
Right.
expensive, too creepy, too weird thing will will actually proliferate through to all of the other products. And the
Right.
good ideas that come from it will end up everywhere,
Right.
right? Um, like glasses free 3D exists, and like it existed 10 years ago in a very popular product, and in those 10 years surely a company like Apple could figure out a way to add layers to a screen so that you could see it properly, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, the my honest first impulse thought about the Vision Pro was that this is a divorce machine, that this that that one that one person in a marriage will buy this
Mm-hmm.
and it will be so annoying and so
Mm-hmm.
intrusive, and they'll lose themselves in it so much that the other person in the relationship will go bye,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now I've come around on that, thinking like this probably won't be that, because this will likely be more like the big heavy 80s camcorder that someone would buy in a marriage, and they bring it out for birthdays and
Mm-hmm.
Christmases and stuff like that, right? I actually think that's probably more what it will be like, where it,
Right.
you know, you likely won't. The I've been thinking about this. So like you're carrying it with you, you put it on, you take a minute of video with your kids, and then you take it off and put it away. That's not
Mm-hmm.
really any worse than a phone or a giant 80s camcorder, right? That action hasn't changed. Much like the newspaper,
Yeah.
that's we already have culture and societal stuff for this. So I think overall that'll be fine. Um, where I think it would be great is for a certain group of people who are not us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't necessarily think this thing's going to be fantastic for families and couples, but but single people,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, for like mental health stuff, the lonely, right? This
Mm-hmm.
might be fantastic. This might be a bridge to more social stuff for people,
Right.
right?
Right.
I think about my grandfather, who is in his 80s and he sits in a chair. He sits in a lazy boy most of the time. He sleeps in a lazy boy. And he has three computer monitors in front of him, like a TV and two computer monitors in front of him all the
Mm-hmm.
time. And he's watching sports and he's doing stuff like that. And I think this would be amazing for him,
Mm-hmm.
right? Right? The how little mobility it requires to use the device, where you just like pinch and zoom and scroll with,
Right.
right? Like that would be amazing for groups of people who have issues with mobility, with or like a mouse is crappy for them or a trackpad is crappy
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
right? Like this opens up a tremendous amount of value and use for people who are not us. And so
Yeah.
I have empathy for that. And I think it could be amazing for that, right? And I think to myself, like, I could buy this for my grandfather and give him this vision, right? That, and it could enable him to do things he can't do now, right? and he's not going anywhere.
Right.
He's going to be in that lazy boy, right?
Right.
And it's fine. It's not socially weird at that point,
No.
right?
It's fine.
It's
Yeah.
fine. In fact, it's way less stuff than his current setup. It's elegant in a way, you know. And yeah, divorced dads. I feel like it's perfect for divorced dads because you get to see the images that you took of your kids. This is the divorced dad paradox, right? Of like you instead of spending time with your children, you're taking pictures of them, and instead
Right.
of helping out, you're just like on your computer.
I'm
And
capturing a memory.
I'm capturing a memory. Well, you could be here.
Yeah.
Right? So it's good for that. But seriously, I do think it would be fantastic for a large group of people who aren't in a room with other people needing their attention. Right?
Yeah. No.
Right?
Yeah.
If you
You're
take that out of that, it might be great.
I even think like I can think of ways it would be great for people like you and me, except for the divorce part. You know, it's that would be bad. But you know, the thing about this is that for if you think about the device or the tablet, the gadget for individuals,
Yeah.
like it's amazing, right?
Sure.
Like
For an individual, for single player
for
mode.
an individual.
Yeah.
Single player mode for almost any single player.
Yeah.
Like there's like so many categories, including me.
Yeah.
Where that would be pretty awesome. Like the trouble starts beyond that. And it's not I'm not gonna say it's a certainty that it's troubling. It's just that we have hundreds, like literally over 100 years of literature telling us that this is a bad idea.
We do.
You know,
that's a hurdle.
That's yeah. So, but beyond that, it's pretty cool. Like if you ask me, like you know, I mean, the hurdle now is the price, right? If it was $800, that would be something to like. This would be a whole different show. Like this would be like a 3-parter, you know. But 3,500, we can talk about it from arm's length and think, oh, that's troubling, and let's see what happens. Let's see what the market decides.
Sure.
And Apple being Apple, you're right. The technology will proliferate and it will be awesome. The iPhone 20 is gonna be.
It's gonna have stuff from this, and it's gonna be right. This is how they push things forward continuously.
Yeah. And that might be a thing, like there underneath that there might be troubling things too that we're blind to just because we like our phones, you know. But VR headsets are things that we don't find interesting. I mean, maybe that's why, right? So and that's a different thing. But it's just that like I guess that's what it is mostly with technology. Like I find it hard to have a conclusion about this, but I have to admit it does remind me of how I feel about SLRs and the 80s video camera. That's the same. These are the same questions or issues. I'm sure somebody had trouble. You know, it's the same issue of be in the moment instead of capturing it. You're literally not in the moment. It's that times 1,000 or 1,000,000 now, because of the technology. And the great thing about it being Apple is the thing you mentioned. Like you're absolutely right about that, and that's a good thing. What I hope is that I guess they keep. I as a fan, like I kind of trust them with it, but the launch of this kind of makes me trust them a little less, just because of how heavy-handed no, but look how cool pitch it was. Like they didn't even do that with a watch. Like with a watch, they kind of just said, "This is what it can do. This is what we could do, and it's beautiful, and you should buy it." And suckers like me are like, "Yeah, I'll buy the first one, even if it sucks." But this one,
does it help or hurt at all that on the date that they came out with the watch, the most expensive watch that they came out with cost more than twice the Vision Pro? They sold a $10,000 Apple Watch on day one.
Yeah, I tried it on with a bodyguard and everything.
You tried on the $10,000 watch?
Yeah,
That's
yeah, Boston
amazing.
Apple Store. I was there for for my honeymoon in the U.S. and I said I have to try the Apple Watch edition. This is one
Wow.
of the things we have to do on our honeymoon is go to an Apple Store and schedule a fitting for a watch we're never gonna buy. Like that was. Does it help? I mean, no, no.
you
Well,
you physically tried on a $10,000 Apple
yes,
product,
I scheduled it on the website
and
just to try it
you
on.
tried it on, and to know that now, almost 10 years later, almost 10
Mm.
years later, a $3,500 thing comes out, and we're like, too expensive.
But the $10,000 thing also came with a $400 thing, like at the same
Mm,
launch,
yes,
you
true,
know.
true.
But it's like I'm gonna try the $10,000 thing, but I'm gonna buy the $350 thing.
Yeah,
That's what I'm gonna do.
yeah.
And that was a pie in the sky thing that seems like fun. This is not a pie in the sky thing. They're selling the $400 thing as a $3,500 thing, and
Mm,
this potential, and the thing is, if it's one of two things. Again, the market's gonna decide, right?
mm-hmm.
Because it's expensive to produce and whatever, money, blah. But
True.
if no one buys it in 3 years, they're gonna take the technology and put it elsewhere, and then they're gonna shift their narrative to make it like it was revolutionary because
Sure.
the iPad can do it,
Yeah.
right? But the I think the dish now is scary because it means like, what if everybody buys it? What
Oh,
if this is
you're
the
worried
thing?
that this is the success,
Yeah, that's
right?
one of the worries. That's the
Right.
main one. Yeah, because it's good enough to be like it's if they get everybody in the world to demo it and everybody in the world has $3,500 lying around, they're gonna buy it. I'd buy it.
Right.
I'd buy it.
Right.
I would totally buy it. Like I'm not even denying it. Like
I'm
or
just gonna.
let's
I
let's
might later cut you 1 minute into this podcast saying no, I'm not gonna buy it. Into this part here. Um,
Oh, you should. You should totally do it. That's why we have this show. See.
I like that you've been against this product for the last 60 straight minutes, and your final point is, yeah, no, I would purchase it completely.
It's true. See? Self-awareness is all we can do.
That's true.
It's nothing.
All right, I think we should wrap it up there. I don't really have any social media right now. I don't know about you. Are you still on
No.
Twitter?
Well, yeah, kinda.
Wow.
Kinda.
How's it
Like
going?
I have a Mastodon account, but I'm not really doing anything with it yet. Like most of the people I pay attention to are still on Twitter.
Yeah.
So I'm just on it and upset about the company that
Yeah.
runs the app.
Yeah. How's that
But
going?
yeah, no, there's Twitter. There's Twitter and there's the show and there's the Discord. This is just I don't know. I'm not gonna pitch the Discord. It's yours. It's not mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. There's at Mikey Lurin on Twitter. If
Mm.
you guys want to tell me anything, like if you want to buy it, tell me if you're gonna buy it. Tell us why.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And does
You're
that mean-
you're you're not you're not anywhere. Like, so if anyone wants to say anything to you, they
I
can't.
have an email address. I don't, you know.
You're not gonna announce the email address on
I have
YouTube.
like a phone number. I don't know.
Yeah. If anyone has anything to tell Sawyer, just tell me. And
Yeah.
I will tell him the next time.
Oh my God! See how
Let's do
cool
that.
is that? Your people will contact my people. I did heavy social media for like a decade and a half. It didn't get me anywhere.
Mm. But you say that like throughout the entire decade and a half. That's what you would say, and then you'd leave it.
Yeah.
And then come back.
Well, I don't work for these places. I don't. It's.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyways, we're on YouTube.
Yay! Finally.
All right. Have a good week. I'll see you next time. We'll talk Zelda.
Let's do it.
Thanks for
Take care.
listening, everybody. Bye.
Bye.